Hi, my name is Helen. I'm going to take you through a full body weights workout. So we need a set of dumbbells, medium to heavy. You always have the option at any point if you want to maybe use one dumbbell instead of two. So at any point, sometimes a single arm. Drop the weight, go heavier, have breaks, whatever you need to do. I want you to be able to complete this workout feeling you've got out of it whatever you wanted to put into it, basically. So if you're feeling lower energy, you take more rest, you do a lighter weight. If you're feeling really good today, maybe you're putting in a little bit more oomph and effort. We're going to start with the warm up. We finish with the cool down. That's the whole thing in 30 minutes to make sure we're working out safely and effectively. So you don't need your weight to start with, just your body weight. Oh, I just put something under the sofa thinking that was a good storage place, but you can see it. It's annoying. Right, let's go for the warm. We're going to start with some side bends, reaching side to side. Oh, I instantly just got some clicks in my back. So everything we do today, you want to work within your pain-free range. So if anything is feeling painful, ease off or have a break. And if there's anything you need to switch out with another exercise, please feel free. Swing the arms forward and back. So you really wanted to kind of take ownership. I'm here to guide you through a workout. I don't know your limitations. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to cover some things for you, but listen to your body as the biggest thing. Apart from when your body at the end says, or your mind says, I don't need to do this stretch at the end. Yes, you do. And squats, feet a bit one, hips, just a mini squats. Drop your hips back and down. Keep your chest lifted so the spine stays long, not so lifted that you're arching through the back. And gradually work to sit a little bit deeper to find a bit more depth. Good morning. So your feet underneath your hips, fingertips on your temples, squeeze between your shoulder blades, and then push your bum back, stand up. Push your bum back and stand up. Your knees will be soft. So rather than locking out like this, keep the knees over the heels and send your hips away from your knees. You want to feel a stretch down the back of the legs. Take one leg back, just tap it back, stand up, switch your legs, tap and stand. Tap, and as you tap back, allow your body to kind of tip forward. The further you tap back, the more challenging. So if you need a bit less, don't tap as far. And as we warm up, you're aiming to tap back a little bit further. Come down to the floor, do some push-ups on your knees. So in box, hands wider than your chest, drop your chest between the elbows, or walk your hands forward and do modified on your knees. This is even if you can do push-ups on your toes. We're in the warm-up, we're just setting ourselves up, we're preparing the body, we're not at a workout intensity yet. So we get easy breeze on the joints. And we're ready, come back up to standing. We're just going to repeat that again. And by the way, if you ever feel like you're like, I think I need to do another round, please do. Side bends. So round two, we're hoping that the breathing rates come up a little bit more, the body's feeling warmer, and we can start to look in this round to work towards our full range of motion. So we might be able to bend a little bit further, stretch a little bit more, squat a little bit deeper, push up a little bit lower, etc. Open and close the chest, claws. So you want to feel, did I do this last time? Okay, so I've got a thyroid issue at the moment, which means I can't exercise properly for myself. So we're going light on my weights today, and also I get severe brain fog. And I'm not that good anyway with my brain. So did we do this before? I don't even know. Squats. Maybe take this a little bit slower and start to think about sitting a little bit deeper. You want to get your hips and your knees involved. So not just bending your knees, not just pushing the bum back, but the bum goes back and down. It's if you're trying to sit on a nice low chair. Why does the chair have to be nice? Because all chairs are nice. Good morning, sweet under hips. I've also had a coffee today. Push your hips back. So this one is just the hip joint where it's moving. And I love when someone says to me hinge like a door hinge, where it goes kind of in on itself. Genius. That's why it's called a hip hinge movement. And yes, it took someone telling me that to realise. Alternating tap back, step back. Trying a little bit further this time. By the way, you might notice with my arms, I like to counterbalance it with the opposite arm in front. You might want hands on the hips. It's completely up to you. It's just preparing us for what we're going to be doing in the workout. And then push-ups on your knees. This time try and get a bit more depth if you can, please. So you're trying to get your chest right down in between before you push back up. Maybe even go down a little bit slower. Maybe a little pause at the bottom. We want a strong brace. There's no worming of your body. Hips are dropping, sagging or arching. Just the elbows bend and straighten. Perfect. Jump up. Have a little shake off. Grab a sip of water if you would like. And if there's anything else you feel like you want to do, moving around, any kind of movements, bits, please do. We're going to do 2 rounds, 2 rounds of exercise, and then another block of, oh dear, come on Helen. So we do some exercises twice around, done. Next set of exercises twice around, done. Final block is 1 set and we're completely finished. So grab your dumbbells, please. Have them both nearby, but you just need one to start with. Hold the weight in your right hand, step your right foot way back. We're going to pull the dumbbell back to the hip and release the arm. Pull the dumbbell back towards the hip and release down. So we're holding the position of the legs. So remember that tap back we did? So it's that tap back position, but we're holding. And same deal, closer will be a little bit easier, but still try and tip forward. Further back is going to challenge your front leg a little bit more. Your back heel, check that it is lifted rather than down on the ground or collapsing in towards the middle. More like, that's kind of like warrior 1 in yoga. So keep the hips square and as much weight as we can on our front leg. Perfect, we just got to switch our legs. So switch the legs over, switch the dumbbell over, and we pull and release. Now, the dumbbell as you come up, watch out that you're not pulling straight up towards your armpit, elbow straight up towards the ceiling. But instead, think about pulling the dumbbell back towards your hip bone. So you pull your elbow back and up. That's going to keep your shoulders in a safe place and really target your back. And as you're doing this, really stamping your right foot down onto the ground. That quad and bum should be buddy. If you don't feel your bum, you're going to tip forward a little bit more. Really push your bum back. And I should say, by the way, the other hand can be out to the side on the hip. Try and avoid resting on the leg if you can, because that takes away some of the intensity from your thigh. Perfect. Coming to a shoulder press. This is where you need both your dumbbells. Take your elbows wide. We're going to press up and then lower back down. Pressing up. Elbows in and up. Elbows down and wide. Roughly shoulder height if you can, just below. If you need to, come a little bit lower than that. But we're going to try and keep the tension. Now, if this is too punchy, you've got 2 options. You can relax your elbows down, do 1 arm at a time. Or you can just use 1 dumbbell. Press up and lower down. Especially if you haven't got the choice at home to pick lighter weights, heavier weights, you're just working with 1. Make sure it's at the point that you can actually press it safely over your head. Perfect. Squats with the bottom half. You can keep hold of your 1 dumbbell if you want, or both dumbbells. We're going to squat all the way to the bottom. Come up about halfway. Go to the bottom again. Stand up all the way. So squat all the way down. Stand up a bit. Down again to the top. Down, up a little, down, rise. Down, up a little, down, and rise. That pace is decent as well, by the way. So a lot of people tend to really spend minimal time at the bottom. They kind of bounce it, make it small. But the longer we're in tension, the more we're going to challenge our muscles. So really milk the time you're spending at the bottom of your squat. Being mindful again that you're not being pulled forward, nor just bending your knees. Perfect. 1 dumbbell or 2. So if you're using 2, press them into one another. Weight is over the head, and then we bend the elbows, straighten them. Bend and straighten. If you're on the 1 dumbbell, hold either end again and do the same thing from there. If you ever get stuck and you've gone down and you can't get up, just wing around the side of your face and then you'll be able to reset and get down again. And then maybe, if you've not got option to go lighter, just don't go as low. But wherever you are, as soon as the weight's over the head, the temptation is to flare your ribs out and arch your back. And we brace the core here by tucking the tailbone under and bringing the ribs down towards the hips. And you may even like to take 1 foot slightly behind to help with that. Perfect. Have a little break. That's your first round of exercises. Done. Have a little sip. We just do them again. Again, if you do have the option of changing your weights, now you know the feel. What I hope is that by the end of this set, everything feels a bit fatigued. It feels like you could maybe do a few more reps, but you don't really want to. That's the hope. So when you're ready, pick it up in the right hand, take a long step back with your right leg, lean into the leg, stamp your left foot down, and let's go pull and release. And do you notice again, like with my timing, so some people I find just wrap it out. And by the way, this is where you can see my weight is too light for you, because if you're able to wrap it out like this, it means you can go heavier. But you want to pull and have, again, time at that point where it's tense, where you feel like your muscles are loaded. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades at the top and then resisting it down with control. And simply by adding that pause, it's going to work a little bit harder. Bit more pressure into your left foot if you can. And keep your right elbow tucked in towards your sides. Perfect. Let's switch sides. Switching legs. Lean forward, push your bum back, and we pull and release. Funny, for this hand, I've got my hand on the hip, other hand I kind of dangled. It's really preference. Pausing maybe at the top. And think about your left shoulder blade just drawing in towards your spine. So pull it in and back. And just watch out as you're fatiguing, because your back's working the whole time you're in this tip position, you might find yourself starting to dump into your back like this. So you want to just try and lift your chest and tilt the bum backwards a little bit so you've got that straight line from the head to tailbone. Lots of things are working in this one, more than you realise. Shoulder press, 1 dumbbell or 2. So yeah, last one's working your back, a little bit your biceps. So it's like upper back, kind of mid back, lower back, your glutes, which is the word for your bum, and your quads, which is the word for your front thighs, this muscle. This one again, as your weight is overhead, the temptation will be to flare and arch. So we're trying to keep everything tucked in towards the middle. Rib cage, each individual rib, like it's connected to one another, it's not able to move. And each rib cage as close to your hip bones as possible. Keep them down. I just watched a video before this, that's why I got that in my head. It was 2 secs. Squat with the bottom half, up to you. Hold both weights up, or one weight. Coming down, up a little bit, all the way down again, up all the way. And it was a video of Dorothy, like the old school movie, Dorothy, the Wizard of Oz. And she's starting her journey on the Yellow Brick Road and doing a little dance, and they put a different song to it, and I thought it was very funny. It was like dun 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 dun, which is not. I don't know what the song is. I know it's not that. Yeah, milking the bottom range, and staying that. Still make sure you're fully extending up to the top. So coming all the way to standing, not needing to thrust forward, but not leaving up bum out here either. Oh, lots to think about. Perfect. Overhead shoulder extensions, 1 dumbbell or 2. If you're on the 2, I recommend pressing into one another. And you've done up. You don't have to do that. You can separate, but then do notice how much more wobbly it is. And that's not a bad thing. If you're able, separate them, and you're trying to stabilize your elbows. So it's going to work your shoulders a little bit more. It's going to work your triceps even harder because they've not got each other to assist. But if you're finding you're like, wow, we're way out here, press them into one another. The biggest focus in this one really ideally is the tricep muscle, so the muscle down the back of the arm, more than your stabilizing shoulder muscles. Really squeeze the arm straight. Squeeze. Perfect. Relax, have a little break. Have a little shake. Have some water. Now we're going into our second set of exercise. Same principle, we're going to go through twice through. So you get to have a second opportunity. We're going to start with side bend. So we'll hold the weights either side of our body. We're just simply going to bend from side to side. Kind of like we did the warm up with that side stretch, but with the weights down, it's now pulling us. You're going to squeeze your sideways to stand up. Let's go. Pick up your weights. And we're bending. Bend. And bend. Being mindful to not bend forward. but to the side, like you're stood between two walls, and you've got to maybe pick up something from the floor, or like scratch your knee, you're bending to reach before you pop and stand up. Some people like to kind of pull the weight up as well. You're more than welcome if that feels good. I personally just like to keep my arms by the side. It's not too much difference in feel, so go what feels right. But it's a stretch of the side waist and a squeeze to stand. And I absolutely love side bends because they really work your oblique muscles, which is your side waist, without it being too horrendous of an exercise. RDLs, turn the palms to face your thighs. Push your hips back, Knees are soft, so they stay over your heels rather than locking out. Now drive your hips forward a little bit as you lift your chest. Then go back to where you are, and then drive your hips forward and up as you lift your chest. So a hinge, come up a little bit, down again, up all the way. A couple of things to watch for. Some people seem to think you have to go all the way to the floor, but that tends to mean you're rounding your back. So you're aiming for roughly kind of mid-shin, and then up to the knees, back to mid-shin, and then drive up. And again, that's an aim. You may be a little bit higher than that. You should feel the muscles down your back body working. So your hamstrings and your glutes and your back. Perfect. Lie down on your back, please. Bent knees as if you were going to do a sit-up. Palms are facing your thighs, and then just open your elbows down and wide to the floor. Press your weights up to the ceiling again. Down and wide, in and up. The good thing about doing this on the floor, if you don't have a bench, is means you pretty much can't go too low because the floor will stop you. We want to target our chest muscles here. So keep the weight in line with your chest. The thing I see the most is the elbows coming higher than your shoulders and the dumbbells coming up kind of by your ears. So you want to try and keep your elbows just tucked in just a little bit by your sides, and keep the dumbbells over your elbows at the bottom, and that way you know you'll be targeting your chest. Perfect. One weight on your hips or both. You're going to lift your hips up, hold your hips still. Walk your right foot forward, away from your bum. Put as much pressure as you can on the right foot. Now the left foot joins in. Step the right foot in. Now the left foot joins. Now lead other leg. So the left leg goes forward first. Put all the weight in the left leg. Right leg moves. Now put all the weight in the right leg so the left leg can move back and back. Now, if you're finding your hips are wobbling quite a bit, which mine were there, get rid of one weight or even both. So I'm going to try and use your abs to keep your hips level, and your glutes and hamstrings are working. And I don't know if you saw again how slow I'm doing this. So I'm really working to control, activate one leg, transition to the other leg rather than just walking really fast, because I don't feel that as much at all. Sit-ups, if you can, hold the weight against your chest as you curl up to a full set-up position and then roll your way back down. That's a big ask. So you can actually use your weight to help you up if you need, and throw it forward. It's going to help as momentum to come up, and then see if you can get as close to your chest to come back down again. Advanced, try just hugging the weight in. That way it's really going to weigh you down and be harder. Weigh you down sounds a bit deep, doesn't it? But a bit more challenging than when the weight goes away from you. But you do what you can. And if a full sit-up is just simply too much, you just come up as high as you can before you come back down. If you feel it in your lower back, stick to a crunch. Or get rid of your weight. Yeah. Come on up. Hold up, shake. We do it again. So yeah, main things to think about in the chest press. Not looking like this, but tucking your elbows down towards your sides a little bit as you go down and up and down and up. Round 2, pick up your weights. Anyone a little bit sweaty? I'm a little bit sweaty. Side bend, side to side. I get asked a lot about whether or not it's moving the hips out like this. And if you can, keep your hips level. So the bend comes from the waist and above. That is a different type of exercise when we come out, jump the hips out. But for today, I can't even think what it's called right now. Nope. All I've got in my head is windshield. And that's not it. It's gone. Do you know I was playing paddle on Sunday? And I didn't even notice we were playing paddle. That's how much the brain fog is. I'm like functioning, but like not on full. RDL's on the bottom half. RDL is called Romanian deadlift. Rise up, down again, stand all the way. Drive the hips forward. So you want to push your weight into your heels. Push into the heels as you lift the chest a little bit, drive the hips forward. Go down again, and it's a simultaneous. You stamp your feet down as you lift your chest and drive your hips back up to standing. So it's kind of like a pull and a push movement together in one. And the difference between RDL, so a Romanian deadlift, and a deadlift is we start standing like this. So it starts standing and finishes standing. Whereas a deadlift, traditional deadlift, is where the weight is on the floor and you pick it up and you put it down to the floor. Don't ask me why it's called Romanian. I do not know. I assume somewhere in Romania, did it. Who knows? Come down to the floor, chest press. Palms forward, and just remember, slightly tuck the elbows in towards your sides. That keeps the shoulders safe. And make sure we're targeting the appropriate muscle of the chest. I should have said, by the way, if you get stuck again, same thing, option one arm at a time, or drop to do both hands on one dumbbell. Someone asked me once why it's called burpees, and I was like, I don't know, maybe it's just like the name of the person who invented it, and I just kind of made that up on the spot. And it is. I believe the person was called something like Mr. Burpee. What an unfortunate name. Oh yeah. Perfect. Hip bridge, one weight or two. Again, I noticed my form was compromised when I had two, so I'm going to do the one weight. And of course, option no weight. Lift your hips up, squeezing your bum. The hips don't have to be too high. Walk 1 foot away. Shift the weight into that foot. The other foot joins. Shift the weight into that leg. Step back in. Step back in. Your hips won't be really high off the floor. We're really focused on trying to keep your hip bones level and feel that transition. The further you step your feet, the harder it's going to be on your hamstrings, and the less far, the easier. So go as far as you feel your hamstrings working quite hard, but not feeling like they're going to snap, which I've felt before. It's not fun. And also, you can do this with your hips down, by the way, as long as you're putting loads of pressure into your feet. It's great. Right, one dumbbell, no dumbbells, or both dumbbells. Sitting up, curling up through your spine, and rolling your way back down again. Trying to do it with as minimal momentum as possible. The hardest part is always going to be that transition between kind of the halfway, or not even like quarter way up, the crunch, basically the crunch into the sit-up. This is the bit where we tend to get stuck and try and use a load of momentum. Use it if you can't get up without it, but try your hardest, especially in these advanced, to make it as smooth as you can. Nicely done. Come on up to standing. Right, we just got one little finisher. This time the exercise is only 30 seconds each. It's going to be loads of squat and press, squat and press, squat and press, and we finish with plank hold. So we're going to do a single arm squat and press, so the weight's in one hand, and we squat, press, trying to minimize any pause in the middle. So it's not squat, stand, press, but everything down, everything up. This hand, again, wherever it needs to be. So take the weight in your right hand. Let's go squat down, drive up, squat down, drive up. And the challenge on the weight on one side is to not get pulled down by it. But you're actually working the opposite ways to try and keep yourself level and pushing evenly into both of your feet. Remember, if you get stuck, you take a little break. If you feel pain, especially in your back or in your shoulders, or if you feel like you're going to drop the weight, go lighter. And we're hoping to ramp the heart rate up. Just switch arms. We come down, up, down, up. So that movement, lower and upper body simultaneously together, dropping down and up, it's going to ramp the heart rate up. I'm hoping it's a nice little heart rate kick for you to finish. After this next 10 seconds, you have the option to do both hands same time with one dumbbell, or pick up your other dumbbell and really go for it. In 3, 2, 1. One dumbbell or 2. Should be feeling a bit breathless. Just check that the weight's not pulling you forward too much, but you can drop the bum down as you lift the chest, and then really drive through your feet into the floor. Got 10 more seconds. We finish with a plank hold, and we're done. How quick can you get into your plank? Ready? Weights down on your hands or on your forearms, whatever your preference. You can be up to your toes, or you can drop your knees down. It should be feeling hard to breathe, you should be breathless. But I would rather your hips are too high, but your tailbone's tucked under, than too low and you're untucked. So if you feel it in your back, maybe take a chance waist first, but then just drive your hips up more. Bring your ribs closer to your hips. You've got 7 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Take a little child's pose. Breathe. This is where I say, don't listen to your head that says you're going to stop now. Just stay as you are. Just put your right arm under. Bring the shoulder near down if you can. I want to feel the stretch in your right shoulder. This, let's see how long we've got. Less than 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes just to recalm the nervous system. When we exercise, we stress the body and we want to let it wind down again. We hold each stretch for about 30 seconds to actually give it the opportunity to relax. And by the way, you can bring your hips further forward if you need to. Switch arms, thread under. And you're almost like pulling so if your left arm's threaded under, instead of turning your chest to the right, think of turning your chest towards the floor, and that's where it's going to pull on your shoulder joint a little bit more. If it feels too much, you just don't turn as much. Did you get that nice little heart rate kick? Perfect. So come in, stretch triceps. Reach your right arm up, bend it, pull, and at the same time, bend over to the left so you feel a stretch in your side waist as well as a stretch down the back of your legs. Whether you can stay down on the floor kneeling, or you can come up to standing if kneeling is uncomfortable. We worked a lot today. Worked a lot of muscle groups in a short amount of time. So switch arms, reach up, bend, pull on it until you feel the stretch down the back of the arm. When you've got it, bend so you feel the stretch in the waist. Here we work our shoulders, our back biceps, chest and triceps, abs, bum, hamstrings, quads. Yeah. Did I already say obliques at your side waist? Did I say that? Who knows? Now stretch your chest. So pull your elbows down and wide, pulling the hands back when we're spreading the chest. You might feel a better stretch instead by either bringing the hands in the lower back, squeeze your elbows in, or lacing your fingers behind, rolling the head and shoulder back. I like to actually lace my fingers, put them on the back, roll back the shoulders, and then squeeze in. And for me, that's my best stretch. But again, go with your preference. Go with your preference. Back stretch. Link your fingers in front, tuck your chin around your back. That's what I think about spreading the upper back apart from one another. So if you pull your elbows and fingers wide, but your fingers resistant, you should feel that stretch of the shoulder blades. And by rounding and pushing your back backwards, gets it hopefully going all the way across the upper back. So you can stay on the floor if you want, shift forward and pick up one foot. That's quite advanced, so if not, maybe standing up, holding something for balance, pick up your foot, pull the heel in towards your bum. Hoping your heart rate starting to get closer to normal. Maybe even already getting that little post-workout buzz and high. You should be especially proud of yourself if you couldn't be bothered to do this today and then you still did. That's always my proudest thing, switch legs. As even though I love exercise so much while I'm doing it or after I've done it, I often can't be bothered to do it in the first place. That's the hardest step. So well done. And I always got mad respect for anyone that's got the discipline like you to do this at home by yourself or wherever you are, maybe taking a gym or outdoors, but to do it outside and be able to press play, it is, I think you've got to be like some of the best for that. So well done. And we're stretching both hamstrings at the same time. So feet under the hips and just fold your body forward over your thighs. You can have straight legs if you find that's uncomfortable in your back or too much stretch. Bend your knees. Your hands do not need to reach the floor. You might be higher up and you don't have to bounce. We kind of move in our warm-ups, but at the end we want to just relax and hang and stay still. Perfect. Tuck your chin, roll up slowly. Have a little shake off. Well done. Seriously, well done. Thank you so much for making me a trainer. I always appreciate it so badly if anyone is training with me. So thank you and hi. Hopefully see you for another workout. I've got a whole bunch you can choose from, some weight, some body weight, some stretching, you know, whatever. I've got a bunch. Do not have dancing though. But yeah, if you've got any questions or comments, just let me know. I'd love to hear from you, as long as you're nice.